And if we can start looking at those difficult things as opportunities, it does kind of change the energy around it. Like you were saying, don't call it the negative experience. It's an experience. I'm having this experience. What's the opportunity? What's the thing that I can take away from this?
Right.
How is it growing me? What direction is it pushing me in? Because we can all look at things in our past that we went through and then see where it got us.
Yeah.
You know, and we usually are pretty happy with where that ended up being. So
yeah, and it might take a while before you can actually look at that way. When you're in the middle of it, yeah, it may not look so pretty. But I know if I could have, I'm trying to think. There's, we have things that happen, and I know when I was younger, I was so full of reactions, and I didn't look too much into something. I was just reacting, and it was later then I started. I would have a similar situation, and then see that's where I was gauging myself. The beginning, it was, oh my gosh, it was crazy, immature reactions, screaming and yelling and all that crazy stuff. And then later, it got to where I could go deeper into it before I got to some of those reactions like that. And then finally got to where, a similar, it's like, I had to keep repeating situations until I got to where I didn't react. It was just, it didn't affect me that way. I could see
and I'm just going to go right back to the first story we told about going to the Conscious Life Expo. Nothing shows up for the booth. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Here we are with this booth at this giant expo, and I'm looking at Julia like, oh my God, she's going to lose it. And she goes, okay, well, we'll just go print up some flyers, and and I'm just like, who is this person? And it's like, I would have thought fireworks were going to go off. Like, where is this stuff? Who screwed that up? No. Nothing.
I mean, we did everything we could to get it. We couldn't get it. So it's like, what's plan B?
Yeah, and that's exactly what you did. And
plan C was Tracy dancing on the tables.
So it really was. And thank God that didn't go to plan C. But you know what did happen is your book showed up for your lecture. And I think that, the universe said, well played, Julia, here's your books. It's like, we didn't get everything. We never did find the banners.
No, never did. I don't know where they are.
The ether gods got those. But yeah, but again, it does show the evolution of reactions. There was so many reactions you could have had when things were just not coming together. And you chose to just be like, okay, well, let's go see what we can do. Make that happen. And then I think we even got to our table, and the people next to us were using it like their kitchen.
Yeah, I know.
Cups and everything.
What? But it was so funny because, and it was just the style and the conjuring thing. But it was at one point we had more going on at our booth that had nothing in it than some of the others that were just loaded with stuff.
Oh, yeah, because we were just having fun.
We were total fun.
And people would come up to the booth, and they'd be looking around because everybody would have the banners, up behind them, and they're looking around and they're looking for something to tell them what that booth was. They just knew they wanted to be there, but they didn't know why. And so finally they found something to cling to, which usually was the website picture of their mom. And then they could start a conversation with us, and you and I were ruthless. We would just wait. You're going to say something to us eventually. But we had a good time.
We did. Yeah. We had such wonderful people. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's true. And they came back to see us again the next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to get that going again. We didn't get to do that this year because of the virus, but that's okay. It'll be back, and so will we.
Yep.
So